Hello and welcome. I am Kanika from Mystical Magic, and this is a general tarot reading for the year of 2026. The tarot cards you see in front of you are already pre shuffled and intentionally placed. Nothing in this reading is random, and nothing is being changed in this moment. The message meant for you has already been set. This reading is meant to offer guidance, emotional clarity, and awareness. It is not here to create fear or predict fixed outcomes. You always have free will, and your choices shapes how this energy unfolds. As you listen, notice what stays with you emotionally. Those are the messages what are meant for you. In front of you, you will see four crystals, each placed on top of a tarot pile. The first is Malachite, the second is Smoky Quartz, the third is the Moonstone, and the fourth is Multifluorite. Take a moment, do not analyze, do not overthink, simply observe which crystal you feel naturally drawn to. This attraction may feel quiet, emotional, or instinctive. Pause the video if you need more time. For those who have chosen Malachite, 2026 is a year of profound transformation. This is not a sudden or a chaotic ending, it is a slow, inevitable shedding of what no longer belongs to your future. Something in your life has already been outgrown. Even in, even if a part of you has been holding on out to some familiarity or fear in 2026, life gently but firmly asks you to release it. Maybe this is an identity, a role you have played for years, or a relationship dynamic, or an emotional pattern. Death here represents rebirth. As uncomfortable as endings may feel, they create the exact same space needed for something more aligned to enter. By the end of 2026, you will not recognize the version of yourself who began the year, and that is a good thing. Emotionally, this year may ask you to finally face disappointments that has been lingering beneath the surface. The 5 of cups shows grief, regret or emotional loss. Not fresh pain but unresolved pain. In 2026, emotions you may have pushed, emotions you may have pushed or maybe like which you were not facing that might return to you, not to overwhelm you, but to be processed and released. This card also reminds you that while something did not work out the way you hoped, not everything was a loss. There are still emotional opportunities standing behind you. Healing begins. Healing begins when you allow the healing to happen. You know, It happens when you allow yourself to mourn honestly without self judgment. Now, let's see the mental patterns. Mentally, you become extremely clear in 2026. The Queen of Swords shows a shift towards truth, logic, and strong boundaries. You stop explaining yourself to the people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You become more selective with your words and more honest with your thoughts. This year teaches you that clarity is the kindness, especially towards you. You no longer avoid difficult conversations. You face them with calm and authority. Career wise, the Eight of Pentacles is about showing up consistently when motivation fluctuates. This is not a year of instant rewards. It is a year of skill building, repetitions, and mastery. Everything you invest time and efforts into is, maybe everything you invest time and efforts into in 2026 quietly shapes your future stability. Even if progress feels slow, it is deeply meaningful. And the last card is the advice. Strength as an advice for 2026 asks you to completely redefine what power means in your life. This is not a year where force, aggression, or proving yourself will bring success. Instead, your greatest strength comes from emotional awareness and calm self control. You are being guided to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Situations may arise that trigger old wounds or insecurity, but your growth lies in choosing patience and over defensiveness. Strength also reminds you to treat yourself with compassion. You do not need to be harsh with yourself to be disciplined, and you do not need to suffer to grow. In 2026, consistency will matter more than intensity. Show up gently, repeatedly, and honestly will create long lasting changes. This card asks you to trust your inner resilience. You are stronger than you think. Not because you can endure the pain, but because you know when to soften. Now, this is the reading for the people who have chosen the Smoky Quartz, which is the second crystal. So, for those who were drawn to Smoky Quartz, 2026 is about confronting shadows and reclaiming the powers. The devil highlights attachments like habits, fear, disbelief, or dependency that keep you feeling stuck. This is not a punishment energy, it is an awareness energy. In 2026, you become conscious of what drains you once awareness arrives. Choices follow. Freedom is possible the moment you stop denying what has control over you. Emotionally, anxiety and mental stress may surface. Nine of Swords shows worry that has been carried internally in 2026. Suppressed fears rise so they can finally be released. This year teaches you to acknowledge anxiety, and you know that acknowledging anxiety weakens the power. So avoidance strengthens it. Avoid if you avoid it, it will be more powerful. So basically, don't run away from your anxiety and just acknowledge your anxiety and face it. Otherwise, it will be more powerful. This card reveals how self limiting beliefs have shaped your reality. You may release that many of the walls around you were built by fear, not facts, but fear. 2026 gives you perspective, and with it, it comes the freedom. So the choice is yours. About the career, financially, I just feel financially or professional insecurity may be highlighted. The Five of Pentacles does not mean permanent loss, it points to a mindset of scarcity. Support is available if you ask for it, but pride or fear may block it. So, if you need help financially or you need advice, don't forget to ask your seniors or to your friends or your colleague or your siblings. Okay, so it is your own mental insecurity about your finances or a professional, whatever it is. So 2026 will teach you that asking for help is a form of strength and not weakness. Now the advice for you is the temperance. The temperance has advised ask you to approach 2026 with balance, moderation, and emotional maturity. This is not a year for extremes, whether emotional, financial, or mental. You are being guided to slow down and find the rhythm that supports your nervous system. When life feels overwhelming, return to simple routines or restore clarity. Temperance encourages blending logic with intuition. Rather than choosing one over the other, healing happens when opposites are integrated. Avoid rushing decisions or forcing timelines, what unfolds gradually. In 2026 will be far more stable than anything rushed. This card reminds you that peace is created through daily choices. Choose balance again and again and again and again, even when chaos tempts you. You should really balance and start healing, and it will help you a lot. Now, this is for the people who has chosen the Moonstone, which is the third crystal. So, for the Moonstone chooser, 2026 is deeply intuitive and internal. This year is less about external validation and more about inner knowing. You are guided to listen more than you speak. You feel more than you explain. Truth will reveal itself very quietly. Emotionally, you develop maturity and compassion. You learn to care deeply without choosing yourself. Emotional boundaries strengthen alongside empathy. Creativity and emotional expression returns. You will reconnect with the curiosity, imagination, and emotional honesty. Let the inner child of you just party around it. Just don't hold back. Career wise, balance becomes essential. You juggle responsibility and priorities, learning flexibility rather than controlling. Don't try to focus on just one thing. If you're getting opportunity, jump for it. Don't stick to one thing. Be more flexible. Just try not to control the opportunities or the things in your life. Be more flexible. The star as an advice brings reassurance and hope into your 2026 journey. This card appears when healing is already in motion. See it immediately, even if you can't see immediate results, maybe you are being guided to trust the process and release the despair rooted in the past disappointment. Faith does not mean denial, it means choosing hope alongside realism. Self care is essential in 2026. Rest, emotional expression, spiritual nourishment will restore your energy. The star asks you to believe that the future can be brighter than the past. Optimism become a healing tool this year. When you stay aligned with the hope, your energy attracts support and clarity. Now, this is for the people who chose multifluorite as their crystal. So, for those who have chosen multifluorite, the energy of 2026 is centered around conscious creations and personal authority. The magician does not appear when something is missing, it appears when you already have everything you need. But but you may not be using it deliberately. Throughout 2026, life repeatedly places you in a situation where maybe you have to take initiative. Waiting, hesitating, or doubting your readiness only delays process. This year is not about learning more, it is about applying what you already know. You may realize that in the past you underestimated your ability to influence outcomes. This is also a year where your focus becomes essential. Trying to do too many things at once scatters your power. 2026 asks you to choose one direction, commit to it, and act consistently. Now, emotionally, 2026 bring a sense of renewal and emotional softening. The Ace of Cups appears when the heart is ready to open again, not impulsively but honestly. You may notice yourself feeling more sensitive, more receptive, and more emotionally aware. Feelings that were once suppressed begin to surface gently, asking to be acknowledged rather than avoided. New emotional beginnings are possible. This could show up as a new relationship or deeper bond with someone you already know, or renewed a relationship with yourself. 2026 teaches you that emotional fulfillment doesn't come from control. It comes from allowing yourself to receive it. Mentally, 2026 asks you to step into clarity, logic, and truth. The King of Swords represent disciplined thinking and intellectual maturity. You are learning how to separate emotions from the decision making when necessary. This does not mean becoming cold or detached. It means becoming fair, rational, and grounded. This year, communication becomes clearer. You express your thoughts directly without over explaining or justifying yourself. You become comfortable speaking the truth even when it feels uncomfortable. So, mental clarity becomes one of your strongest assets this year. In your career, finances, and material life, 2026 offers a grounded new beginning. The Ace of Pentacles represents an opportunity that is tangible, realistic, and capable of a long term growth. This card asks you to treat opportunities seriously. What you invest time and efforts into 2026 becomes the foundation of your future stability. Financial growth comes through consistency rather than risk. Slow, steady progress creates security. This is a year to build, not to rush. And finally, the advice for you is justice. As advised, ask you to live 2026 with honesty, integrity, and consciousness accountability. This is the year where truth matters, especially the truth to yourself. Avoid cutting corners, avoid responsibilities, or your inner ethics acting against your inner ethics. Even if it seems easier in the moment, justice also encourages balance. Do not judge yourself too harshly, but do not avoid accountability either. Growth happens when responsibility is met with compassion. If legal matters, contracts, or formal agreement arises, approach them with clarity and fairness. Most importantly, this card reminds you that peace comes from alignment when your action matches your values. Life stabilizes naturally. As this reading comes to close, remember that 2026 is about prediction, is, is not about perfection. It is about awareness. Each message you heard today was meant to highlight where growth is already happening within you. Some changes will feel gentle, while others may feel challenging. But all of them serve you long term evaluation. Tarot does not remove free will, it simply offers the guidance you need to move forward with clarity than fear. Take what resonates with you deeply and allow the rest to pass. Trust that you will remember the message meant to guide you at the right time. Move into 2026 with honesty, patience, and self trust. The path ahead responds to conscious choices. Thank you for being present here. May the coming year bring you grounding, healing, and quiet confidence. Thank you. Do comment if you were able to resonate, and do subscribe and follow me. I also do private tarot reading sessions. I do accept PayPal and Google Pay and Paytm. So do connect with me. Meanwhile, God bless.